Support for WCBU's On Deck comes from State Farm agent Aaron Kilgore. Aaron and his team offer individualized insurance coverage plans to community members at their Sterling Plaza location. Information on home, life, and auto insurance at aaronismyagent.com. This is WCBU.
Peoria Public School students are showing up early for cursive. That's just one of the things you'll want to hear about to start your day for Thursday, April 18th. I'm Colin Shope, and this is WCBU's On Deck. First on deck today, delays are still plaguing people seeking Illinois medical licenses after the state missed a legal deadline to update systems. WCBU's Cameron Cutinello has more.
The current systems still rely on paper, with people mailing in their applications. OSF Healthcare Chief Human Resource Officer Shelley Parn says there's a lack of transparency with this system. She says they see an average delay of 30 days for new hires, which can cause some problems when they need to fill a position.
At the end state, it's really about the patient. It's about quality and safety, but it's also about our workforce and them feeling like they have the right team around them to do the work.
A measure passed by the state legislature in November requires the Department of Financial and Professional Regulation overseeing this process to purchase software to modernize it. Republican Representative Bill Howder, who is also an anesthesiologist, says the department has failed to adhere to the deadline to update the system.
It's keeping Illinois from getting the highly, trained, highly compensated medical workers, healthcare workers into Illinois, and patients are suffering. Patients are going without care, or they're delaying care because we don't have enough nurses, doctors, and other healthcare professionals.
But according to a spokesperson, the department is still working on purchasing that software. For WCBU's On Deck, I'm Cameron Cusinello.
Here are some other stories we're following in the WCBU newsroom. Illinois Jewish leaders are concerned about a major increase in anti-Semitic incidents. And Woodford County is not declaring itself a non-sanctuary county just yet. Plus, Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul wants to make a state compensation program for victims of violent crime more accessible. Find more of these stories and all the details at WCBU.org. Students at Peoria Public School District's Charter Oak Primary School are circling back to pick up a skill that's been left out of the curriculum for a few years: cursive. It's just before 7:30 a.m. at Charter Oak on Tuesday. Classes aren't in session yet, but in a classroom at the end of a hallway, 16 dedicated pupils are already in their seats and working diligently to copy sentences from an overhead projector. The Cursive Club is led by special education teacher Shannon Roach. Students are currently in week 13 of their 16-week calligraphy crash course.
If you can write a word, you can read a word. So we know that handwriting is important, and you don't want handwriting to inhibit you from being able to actually write something down, because we know that then you could read.
Reading is actually one of the main reasons that Roach's cadre of 3rd and 4th graders joined the club. For example, take Dominic's reason for joining.
My mom likes to write in cursive, and I really want to read what she tries to write.
Family members' use of cursive is actually a recurring theme, like you can hear in Abby's answer here.
I wanted to write how my great-grandma Maureen writes in cursive, my mom, my dad, and my granny and my grandma.
Of course, for some kids, like Joy, parents did provide more direct encouragement.
To be honest, my mom wanted good handwriting, but I joined it so I can write my name cursive.
Halfway through the Tuesday morning meeting of the Cursive Club, students copy down a poem called Tumbling from the whiteboard. Roach says Peoria Public Schools recently reintroduced cursive to the 2nd grade curriculum, but it's been absent from classrooms for almost a decade. That leaves a lot of kids without an opportunity to learn the writing style.
Last year, I got a thank you note from a boy, his high school graduation, and he said, "Sorry, I write like an 8-year-old." And I thought that is really kind of sad, because it's not that he wanted to have poor handwriting. It hasn't been an emphasis.
Roach says she saw kids trying to write in cursive all the time on projects and papers, but without proper instruction, it could cause issues in grading or recognizing which assignment belongs to which student. So Roach took a look at the curriculum being reintroduced to classrooms and condensed it into the 16 45-minute sessions that now comprise the twice-a-week meetings of the Cursive Club. The sessions started simple, learning the shapes of the letters in cursive, both uppercase and lowercase. Roach tried to streamline the process by grouping all of the letters that shared similar strokes or shapes.
We tried to do like 4 to 6 letters in 45 minutes, and I know that that's not ideal, but at least we got a little bit of practice in. And now we've extended it to, because I'm realizing there just wasn't enough time for good cursive practice. So we're just starting to write in sentences and paragraphs.
Tuesday morning, students inscribe sentences about the weather they expect, thunderstorms, and the type of day they're going to have, a good one. As they write, Roach paces between the aisles of desks and takes a look, reminding the students of the 4 keys to legibility: shape, size, spacing, and slant.
I've told the kids cursive is kind of like artwork. We might learn a certain style, but they'll come up with their own style, and it takes practice. Art is a practice, and I believe writing in cursive is a practice too.
The limited time the Cursive Club has means there isn't a whole lot of space for repetition and refining the students' writing. But Roach says that hasn't been much of a problem. Students are enthusiastically practicing their cursive outside of the club, writing their names in cursive for other class assignments, and practicing at home, even over their spring break.
Then I had to give them practice to take home, and I made it optional, but I couldn't believe how many kids brought back work and extra work that they had done. So I've got piles and piles of practice that the kids have brought me because we don't have enough time in the day to teach cursive.
As the meeting of the Cursive Club approaches a close, the kids take a seat on a soft rug at the front of the classroom and read recipes from a series of banners held up by Roach. The recipes for classics like ham casserole were scrawled in cursive a long time ago. The kids have to take their time deciphering the script, but are deftly finding their way through the words. Roach says as early childhood learning has improved in some ways, handwriting has sometimes fallen by the wayside. Roach doesn't know for certain yet if Cursive Club will return next year, but if Charter Oak's inaugural class is any indication, it's a skill kids are excited to learn. Now, before we let you go, the play Men on Boats opens at Bradley University tonight. The historical comedy features a non-male cast in a surreal retelling of an 1869 expedition of the Colorado River. The show starts at 7:30. Tickets are $25. And that's all for today. You can subscribe to WCBU's On Deck podcast on the NPR app, Apple, or Spotify.